Hello again. Last time I told a story about what happened in Italy, right? If you guys still remember, Italian member of parliament got very angry that the Chinese government is telling the world that they are doing a fantastic job in China, but Italy is a total out of control, and that's why they have to help them and send them, donate them a lot of protection masks and so on. And then he claimed that this is absolutely not true. It's just lies. Italy has paid for every of the masks, and that made me to think about how CCP is really unrestricted in lying. They have started a tremendous propaganda campaign with the objective of convincing the whole world, and of course all Chinese people in China, that China is the only country who are so good in fighting the coronavirus or the CCP virus. And interesting is they managed to make quite a lot of Chinese, at least, to believe in their propaganda. Not long time ago, some 100,000, actually exactly 110,000 Chinese students studying in Europe and North America, they watched Chinese propaganda. So they got the impression that in Europe, in America, it's terrible. People are getting infected. It's like a big crisis, and these things are getting out of control. And China, everything is under control. And in the last few days, the Chinese government claimed no new infection. So these 110,000 students, they decided to fly back to China to flee from the crisis in Europe and North America. Well, when they came home, then the experience showed them totally different than what the propaganda say. And what happened is, just yesterday, some of my friends in China called me and say, "Oh, Lao Wu, how is your situation?" I said, "That's fine." "Really? Are you sure? Because I understand that you guys are in big trouble." I said, "What trouble?" "Yeah, I understand that," well, according to what she read in the propaganda, Germany is run out of protection masks, and there are not enough test kits, all these kind of things, and the number of infection and number of deaths are growing dramatically, and China is the safe haven, So, and she's actually a nice lady, and the money is not a problem for her. She make a very successful business in the past. So she was saying, "Oh, if you personally don't have problem, then maybe you can help me to donate, masks and other medical equipment for the German people. I would like to help." I said, "Oh, come on, don't worry about it. It's not that bad. Everything is still under control, and Germany is now taking a very tough measure. They understand that because of all this strong connection with CCP, with the mainland China. So that's why so many people get infected. Yeah, but this is a problem they will take care of it in the future. Right now, they are fighting the coronavirus, and it's incredible." So I told her also the story about Italy, because she also thought, from the propaganda, China has been helping Italy. Italy is in total crisis. I say, hey, they have no problem. They have enough masks and medicine and so on. What they do not have enough is number of beds in the hospital. That I know. So, and Germany is helping them. So don't worry about Germany at all. So anyway, then she was convinced, and she was saying, "Oh, I see. Is it that? Okay." Luckily, at the end, she believed more in what I say than what she read from the propaganda in China. Ah, my goodness. And now, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it is important for us to find out, is it true that in Italy, in Europe, number of infected people are still growing, number of deaths are growing, while in China, 0 new infected and almost no new death? Is that true? Then I tell you another story. you know, first of all, we in the West, we must never forget, in China, there is no freedom of speech, no freedom of press. So there's a monopoly of information. Only the party, and actually recently, the CCP, the party, has even issued a new regulation saying that no person in China is allowed to mention any information about the coronavirus, or the CCP virus. You're not supposed to disclose anything. No matter you talk it positive or negative, doesn't matter. Totally forbidden. They want to close their mouth completely. And why? Because otherwise their lives cannot survive. Yeah? So then I tell you another story. I have a friend. He is, or he was, a high-ranking official in the Chinese government, Communist Party. Yeah? And he contacted me recently. He said, hey, you know what? I'm in America. I came here just before the lockdown of Wuhan. Yeah? And now I'm stuck here. I said, what do you mean you are stuck? You cannot go home? Well, he said, I don't want to go home. I said, why? You know, the party say that now it's over. Now everything is zero, you know? He said, you know, my dear friend, he told me, I will only go back when they announced when will the two big conferences take place. You know, in China, every year there's very so-called important big conference. One is the so-called People Congress. It's basically the parliament, yeah? The big assembly, General Assembly of the parliament. Yeah? It's a big session. Another session is the so-called Political Consultative Conference. Yeah? These are people from different walks where the party asks them to, you know, to be the party's consultants. Yeah? So anyway, these two sessions are seen to be very important event, and it should have taken place in beginning of March, but they postponed it until no new date, and still today there's no announcement of new dates for the conference. Yeah, and he, you know, he's from inside, my friend in America. He said, you know, if the party leaders care about life, then it's their own life. And in these two big conferences, all the top leaders of China within the party and the government, yeah, will meet. And they don't want to get infected. So as long as they postpone these two big conferences, for me, my friends say, meaning they have not the epidemic under control. Yeah? So this is CCP. They almost forced the Chinese people to go back to work already beginning of March, claiming that now it's over. Now infected numbers decreasing, declining, everything under control. But they themselves cancel or postpone these two conferences. Yeah, that's interesting. So, another thing is, I find it very interesting is, you know that, do you know which country was the first country who took a strong measure by closing the border with China? North Korea. And second one is Russia. Why? Well, these two countries, the government there, they know very well how their communist friends in China think and act. So they didn't trust the official announcement from Beijing. Yeah? So they closed the border early. Now the official announcement from Beijing is everything is over. Now everything, no more lockdown. But why North Korea and Russia do not reopen their border? Why? So that says a lot. Okay, you guys can figure it out. Yeah? Now, another shocking thing I found is recently I saw a statistic, official statistic, yeah, disclosed or announced by the biggest Chinese telecom companies, such as China Mobile. Yeah? And what is that? Very interesting information. You know, you can find official figures. The number of mobile phone users in China. It has been increasing for years and decades. Yeah? But in the last 3 months, since December last year till end of February this year, it has decreased. It decreased with 21 million mobile users. Why? Why? I don't know, but there must be a reason. It's difficult for me to imagine because Chinese people certainly don't want to use mobile. But more plausible, more credible is they cannot use their mobile. Why? Well, not just because they are infected, because you need a mobile more than normal, right? But imagine if they have lost their life. So who is going to use this mobile? If that is the reason, my God, the official figure of, I don't know, 3,700 deaths in China is far away from the fact. I always claim that, you know, if you multiply by 10, then you come closer to the truth. Yeah? So maybe multiply by 10 is just too small. So what I want to say is, be careful. Don't just believe in the propaganda from Beijing. The more you believe in it, the more trouble you will get for yourself. You know, a country like Italy, some people in the Italian government, some people in the Italian business community, you know, decision makers, probably in the past believed too much in Beijing lies. And you know that as a human being, you know, the more you believe in lies, the more trouble you're going to have. The bigger the bill you're going to pay in the future. So it's important now for all of us, find out the truth. I have no reason to, you know, attack any government, but I don't want you to be cheated, to be deceived. So find out the truth for your better future. If you like what I've said, push subscribe. If you like it, you can click like also, yeah? And of course, share with your friends, relatives, you know, your loved one, yeah? Help them also to find out the truth for their future. Thank you.